This is the 11.5 worksheet. Number 2, more practice multiplying polynomials. So we're basically just distributing everything from the left polynomial to the right. So the 2p is going to get multiplied twice, the 2 is going to get multiplied twice. And then we just combine like terms. So here we go. Multiply there, that's 10p squared. Here, that's just 2p. Here, 10p. Here, that's 2. These are going to go together to form a 12p. Everything else comes down. Positive, so I write plus. Okay, that is 12x squared, negative 16x, 12x, negative 16. These are going to go together to make negative 4x. Everything else comes down. Distributing 7x squared minus 6x. Multiply here, negative 56x. Multiply here, positive 48. These go together. Put that together, that's negative 62x. Everything else just stays. All right, negative 24x squared. Negative. Now when you multiply times a y and you have an x, they just get put together. And the coefficients is just 6 times 1, so it's 6xy. You don't add any exponents or anything like that. They're different variables, they just combine. Okay, right here, that's positive, negative times a negative, 12, and that's xy again. You normally put the variables in alphabetical order, so x will go first. And so you'll see these are similar. These will go together. And then here, negative and a negative is a positive. Now this is a y times a y, so those do combine to make y squared. So these are the same, negative 6 plus 12. That's a 6xy when you put it together. And you probably saw me do it here. I multiplied 6 times 3 and said it was 24. That would be 18. So it's negative 18x squared. Okay, number 5. Multiply, that's positive 30x squared. Positive 48xy. Negative 15xy. Negative 24y squared. So these go together. This comes down. Those are 33xy together. 24y squared just comes down. Multiply here, that's negative 40x squared. Here, also negative 40, but it's an xy. Here, it's 56xy. And here it is 56y squared. So we got to keep that straight. This was a y times x, so we say xy, and this was a y times a y, and that's y squared. So this and this can go together. That's positive 16xy. Everything else comes down. Positive, so I write plus. All right, now we have a trinomial. It just adds more. We're still going to take the 3x and distribute it to everything, and then the 4, the negative 4, and distribute it to everything. So you're going to have 6 terms total before we simplify. So right here, 9x to the third, negative 21x squared, negative 18x. Here, negative 12x squared, positive 28x, positive 24. So this is my only 9x to the third. I've got an x squared here and an x squared here. Together, that's negative 33x squared. And I've got an x and an x. It's 28 minus 18, so 10x plus 24 tags on the end. Okay, number 8. 36x to the third. (24x squared) negative 24x 12x squared 8x negative 8. All right, so we're going to keep the 36x to the third. I've got an x squared and an x squared. Those go together. That's a 36x squared. Regular x is negative 24 and 8. That's negative 16x minus 8 tags along. Number 9, same idea. 25x to the third. 25x squared. 35x. Multiply. 15x squared. 15x negative 21. All right, only x to the third, so it comes down. X squared and x squared, that's 40. X and x, that's negative 20x minus 21 tags along. All right, to get to number 10. Now I've got different letters here, so it steps it up a little bit. 36u to the third, 12. U squared from u times u, and the v stays with it. Negative 30. A u times a v squared, those are going to stay separate. Okay, right here, it's negative 12. U squared and v stay separate, so that'll combine with this. Multiply here, that's negative 4. The u is going to stay, and it's going to be v squared. And then here, it's positive 10. V times v squared is v to the third. All right, so what we need to notice now is we've got things that look similar, but they're different. U squared v is different than u v squared. So u squared v only goes with u squared v. Third power is going to be all by itself out here, 36 u to the third. And then the order that you choose to put these in is not very important, but we need to put these together. Well, those are actually going to cancel, right? Positive 12, negative 12. So those are gone. And then your uv squareds go together. That's negative 34 plus 10v to the third. All right, more of these. A times a is a squared, and the b tags along. A times b squared can't do anything except just put them together. A squared and b, leave them separate. It's negative 6. The b and the b is going to be b squared. The a is going to tag along, so it's ab squared. And last one, negative 15. B times b squared is b to the third. All right, so this is my only a to the third. I've got a squared b and a squared b. So 12 minus 15, that's a negative 3a squared b. Here's my a b squared. Goes with that. That's positive 24ab squared. And then negative 15b to the third is all by itself. All right, that's positive 35x to the third. It's negative 20x squared y. positive 30. X times y squared is xy squared. Here, negative 35 x squared y, 20 xy squared, negative 30y to the third. All right, so combining what I can combine, I'm going to have an x squared y right here, and an x squared y right here, and an xy squared and an xy squared, and the thirds will stay separate. So 35x to the third. These go together and make negative 55. These go together and make 50. And the 30y to the third tags on the end. All right, now a try times a try. So we're going to have 9 terms here. These get really, really busy. So you want to leave yourself a lot of room. Start as far left as you can because you're going to have to write 9 terms out to start with. So 7a squared goes to all 3. Then a goes to all 3. And then the 1 goes to all 3. So 42, a to the 4th. 56, a to the 3rd. Negative 28, a squared. 6a to the 3rd. 8a squared. Negative 4a. 6a squared. 8a. Negative 4. All right, we got a lot going on here. This is the only one to the 4th. I got a third here. And I got a third here. So together that's 62a to the 3rd. I got a second here, a second here, and a second here. So here's where we got to be careful. So that's 14, and when you add 14 to negative 28, it's negative 14. I have a negative 4a and a positive 8a. So that would be positive 4a, and then a minus 4 tags on the end. Multiply here to the 4th power, to the 3rd power, squared. Okay, then here, 30x to the 3rd, negative 18x squared, here, 42x. Now you can see I'm going to run out of room, so I'll just go here, but just knowing that I'm going to combine all of it here. So I'm going to have a negative. So I'm not stacking this under. Okay, I'm just continuing my line of work. Negative 20x squared. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12x. Multiplying here, that's negative 28. All right, this is my only x to the 4th. I've got x to the 3rd, x to the 3rd. So that's positive 15x to the 3rd when you combine those. I got a squared, and a squared. So you do 35 minus 18 minus 20. Okay, and that's going to come out to a negative 3x squared. You put those together, that's negative 38. So compared to 35, that's negative 3. And then we have an x and an x. That's 54x. Negative 28 tags along. All right, same idea. Try and go as far left as I can here. M squared and M squared is M to the 4th. M squared times M is M to the 3rd. Okay, now the 6. M times m squared is m to the third. M times m is m squared. Times 1 is 6m. Okay, now 2 times this, it's just 6m squared. 2 times this is negative 8m. 2 times this is 2. All right, so bring down your m to the fourth. That's the only one. Now we got a couple m to the thirds. Looks like 2 of them. That's negative 14m to the third. So I've taken care of this, and this, and this. I got a squared, and I got a squared, and I got a squared. So 8 and 6 together would be 14. Negative 24 makes negative 10m squared. So done, done, done. To my m's, 6 minus 8 is negative 2, and then a plus 2. All right. Last 3 now. We're doing all of this work, except now we're going to have 2 variables. So this is about as complicated as it gets. So a squared times a squared is a to the fourth. Positive, negative times negative. A squared times a is a to the third. B tags along. Negative 32. A squared and b squared don't combine to make something new. They just get squished together. All right, the next one. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. A times a squared is a to the third. B tags along. Next one. Negative times a negative is a positive. 16. A times a is a squared. B times b is b squared. And the last one. Negative times positive is negative 64. A doesn't have anything, goes along for the ride. B times b squared is b to the third. 3 more. This is a negative 7. A squared and b squared just get squished together. Here. Negative. Nope. Positive. Negative times a negative. Positive 14. A stays by itself. B times b squared is b to the third. And last one, I squeezed it in somehow. Negative 56. B squared times b squared is b to the fourth. Look at all that. Okay, let's finish it off. Here's the only a to the fourth, so it's negative 4a to the fourth. Now I got to find my similar ones. A to the third, b. I've got those two. No more, and 8 and negative 8 cancel, so they are gone. This is gone. All right. A squared, b squared. 3 of them. Okay, so negative 32 and 16. That'd be negative 16. And then minus another 7 is negative 23. A squared, b squared. Gone, gone, gone. And then I have these ab to the third powers. Negative 64 plus 14, that's negative 50. And the only thing left is my negative 56. Make that look more like a 6. B to the fourth. All right. Number 17. X squared times x is x to the third, and this y stays with it. X squared, y squared go together. x to the third and the y. Negative 25. X times x, y times y, so x squared, y squared. And down here, negative 35. X, and then y times y squared is y to the third. Okay, I'm going to drop to the next line, running out of room. Negative 56, x squared, y squared. Negative 35, x, y to the third. And the last one, negative 49, y to the fourth. All right, x to the fourth, that's the only one. Let's find these. X to the third, y. Okay, so it's these two. So that's negative 5. X to the third, y. So gone, gone, gone. I got x squared, y squared. 3 of them. So 49 minus 25 minus 56. That's negative 32x squared, y squared. Okay, gone, gone, gone. Then I have these xy to the thirds, negative 35 and negative 35. Put those together, that's negative 70. Gone and gone. And then I have negative 49y to the fourth. Last one. Here we go. So this is a negative 1 times negative 7. Positive 7. X squared and x is x to the third. Y tags along. This would be negative 7. X times x, x squared. Y times y, y squared. This would be positive 2. X stays. Y times y squared is y to the third. All right, I'm sliding under again here. Negative 56 x squared y squared. Positive 56 x by itself, y to the third. And negative 16y to the fourth. All right, only y to the fourth, x to the fourth, so they come down. X to the third y, x to the third y. Those are the only ones. So that's negative 21. Gone, gone, gone. Then we have these x squared, y squareds. 3 of them. So this would be 1, that's negative 55. All right, and then these two, xy to the thirds, 2 and 56, so that's 58. And minus 16y to the fourth.